Hi, we have started earlier that receiver operations. That is, we have seen in the last lecture digital transmission system and their data paths. We have seen the errors. Now, at a detector, we have a front end amplifier there, and that front end amplifier gives us what is the bandwidth and the sensitivity of a receiver there. Now, there are the various noise sources present at the front end, and that gives us the sensitivity and bandwidth of the system there. Front-end amplifiers used in optical fiber communication. It has classified into three broad categories. One is the low impedance, second high impedance, third trans impedance. Now in this given figure, we have a low impedance circuit for the front-end amplifier. So we can have a low impedance circuit, and this one is about your trans impedance circuit. Now in this low impedance preamplifier, the value of this R is varying, and that R is matched for the given impedance, and that R is nothing but a parallel to the load resistor, and that is a amplifier impedance. We have this RL, and that RL is nothing but what? A parallel impedance to the match, that parallel impedance matched to this amplifier impedance, and this RB, that is, if we go ahead internal diagram, so it is having a load resistance or a bias resistance for the given amplifier. So that's why a total preamplifier impedance, that is nothing but a RL, it is having a RA parallel to the RB. Now this low impedance amplifier, the value of that RL is low, so that's why it is called as a low impedance preamplifier. But there are the drawbacks of the low impedance amplifier. For a low load, the resistance, the thermal noise, due to the low resistance, the thermal noise dominates, and due to the increase in that value of a thermal noise, the preamplifier cannot be used for the long distance communication. So that's why for a short distance communication, this preamplifier, low impedance preamplifier is to be used. Then to avoid the thermal noise, we need to increase a load impedance there, and that the case here in the given figure. We have a generic structure of low impedance and high impedance, but if the RL is increases, then the thermal noise reduces there. So thermal noise is inversely proportional to the value of whatever the RL present. If RL is maximum, then the thermal noise will be a minimum. But how to increase that value of RL? Because the amplifier, that input impedance RA is 50 ohm, that is constant. So to improve the value of RL, that RL is equal to RA parallel to RB. So RA is nothing but input impedance. So we have a bias impedance, bias resistance. Okay, to increase the value of RL, we need to increase the RB value. So that's why we are getting the high impedance amplifier. And the bandwidth for this front end amplifier is inversely proportional to the resistance seen by the photodetector. Therefore, for the high impedance front end amplifier, a high resistance, high load resistance, that reduces the noise, and the But if noise is reduces, RL is increases, but the bandwidth is reduces. So that bandwidth will be low there. Now we have a scope to increase the bandwidth. To increase the bandwidth, we can use equalizers. If the bandwidth is less than the bit rate, then a front-end amplifier cannot be used. Okay, so that's why there is an issue of what impedance. If we are having high impedance, bandwidth reduces, low impedance, bandwidth improve, but noise increases. So that's why the issues for this low impedance and a high impedance amplifier. Next is a transimpedance amplifier. If you see that it's common diagram, that photodetector, that is like falls on the detector we have. Then what we are having, that amplifier and a feedback resistor there, and that negative feedback resistor is used here, and that negative feedback resistor with a inverting amplifier. Now the drawback of that high impedance, because drawback of the high impedance what? Bandwidth reduces. Now to improve that drawbacks of a high impedance amplifier, so we can design a transimpedance amplifier. So this has a RL is used in a negative feedback resistor, okay, with the amplifier there, and that RL can be increases, and because of that increase in RL, the negative feedback reduces the effective resistance seen by the photodetector, and that by a factor of a G. So that's why a parallel resistance Rp is equal to RL by G plus 1, and G is nothing but the gain of the amplifier. Transimpedance bandwidth increases by a factor of G plus 1 for the same load resistor. And if you compare that with thermal noise in case of high impedance, so thermal noise reduces, but here in the case of the thermal noise increases, and that increases usually less than the factor of 2 and can be tolerated as compared to the high impedance amplifier. So about your front end amplifier used in the detector. If you see the receiver digital transmission system, this one is about your photodetector and a front end amplifier. Here bandwidth reduces, we can use equalizer to increase the bandwidth of the system there. Equalization process we can use, or we are having the filter equalization there in the case of a digital transmission system. This one is a common receiver configuration used. We have a photodetector here, then we have bias resistors RB and RA as we seen earlier in the amplifier. These both resistors are parallel. RA is a fixed, RB can be varied, and we can have the amplifier output, then we can have the equalizer there. This incident values, whatever the P of T, incident on this detector, and from that we can find out how much is the current obtained by this. But to represent that 1 and 0 value, we need to see that what is the bit error rate, and then we'll get the exactly what are the ideas, exactly how the signal is received and all. Okay, that is a photodetector. Then we are getting a sufficient current, or as per the whatever the value we have here, we will get the output in the form of a current. Now, before receiver configuration and a complete receiver sensitivity, we need to learn what is the bit error rate. Now generally a digital receiver and its performance can be obtained using the bit error rate value. So we need to find out what will be the worst case value of a bit error rate. But bit error rate means what? It is how many number of bits we are receiving in the particular case and what are their errors occur. If you see the digital transmission system and its path, the digital receiver has a decision circuit that produces the output voltage, and if it exceeds the value of that output voltage beyond this threshold value, if it exceeds the threshold voltage, then above that threshold value voltage that represents 1, and if it below than the threshold voltage, then it represents that 0. 1 represents, we have seen earlier, 1 represents that pulse end, and 0 represents there is no pulse end. So this one we have the probability that the output voltage is less than the threshold when a 1 is sent, and the probability that the output voltage is more than the threshold when a 0 has been sent. Now there will be a deviation in the average value of output voltage, and because of the deviation it causes a various noise. Suppose that level deviates or threshold value if we change, so then it is difficult to identify that 1 and 0. So that's why we say that because of the deviation in the average value of output voltage, that various noise will be introduced as well as interference from the adjacent pulses increases there. So we can say that we are not able to identify 1 and 0 because of that interference of. So we doesn't know that a light source is present or absent. So because of that deviation in the output voltage. So that's why we need to find out how much will be the bit error rate in the given receiver system. So bit error rate is the ratio of a number of errors occurring over a certain time interval to the number of pulses, that is ones and zeros, transmitted during the same interval. That's why dr is equal to Ne by 8 Nt. Ne is what? Number of errors occur in a given particular period, and Nt are number of pulses transmitted in a given particular period. That Ne by Bt, the number of pulses transmitted, we can find out a bit rate. Bit rate is equal to what? 1 by Tb. That is the pulse transmission rate. That is the duration of pulse. So we can have a pulse transmission rate there, because pulses have a short duration. Now, to obtain the bit error rate at the receiver, we need to know about the probability distribution of the signal received at the equalizer output, because we need to find out the probability of ones and zeros. So that's why we need to know the probability distributions, whether 0 is sent or 1 is sent, and that probability distributions of 1 and 0 received signal pulses, and what will be the width of this particular distributions for 1 and 0, and due to that width what will be the distortions that we need to be learned. We need to learn what is the bit error rate here. So that's why here we learn probability distributions for the received logic 0 and 1 signal pulses.